Good afternoon, dear parents and community. Welcome to another family engagement broadcast from HES Academies. My name is Mr. Sharafuddin. I'm the Family Engagement Community Liaison at HES Academies. And we have with us today Ms. Zeinab Soueidan. She's the school nutritionist at Universal Learning Academy. Welcome, Ms. Zeinab. No problem.
Okay, sorry for that.
So today we're going to be speaking about immune boosting through nutrition. Ms. Soueidan, she has been working as a clinical dietitian and weight loss expert for the last 5 years. She has worked extensively with children, families, and communities in an effort to give them proper nutritional guidance to lead their most healthy, full life. She also enjoys food photography and creating recipes that are tasty, easy, and nutritious. Sounds very good to me, especially close to dinner time. Ms. Zainab today is a Universal Learning Academy school nutritionist, and we're very excited about this presentation. Many parents have been waiting for it. We have been spending, after the pandemic, a lot of time home, cooking at home, and with probably not much physical activities as we wish to have. So your presentation comes on very timely. And without further ado, I present to you Ms. Zeinab Soueidan.
Okay, hello everyone. It's a pleasure to be presenting to you today, especially in these critical times, Corona and the holidays coming up. So today we're just going to be discussing a few take-home messages, which I would like you as parents, as caretakers to just have an idea about. We're going to be talking about immune boosting nutrition, and I'm going to try to present everything in a very comprehensive, easy manner, just so that you can take an idea and be easily applied into your everyday life. Okay, so we're going to start off. The food choices we make impact our overall well-being from breakfast to dinner. So in the beginning, I want everybody to understand that nutrition and immunity, it's a holistic approach. It's an ongoing approach, and it tackles a lot of aspects in our life. It's not just about nutrition. However, nutrition does play a very important role in providing us with the optimal nutrition for optimal immunity. And I would have to tell you that food choices we make on an everyday basis at every meal really can help us to improve our overall well-being, and by that our overall immunity and so on. Healthy eating and maintaining a healthy body weight is super crucial for maintaining proper immunity. And I would just like to address something, that a child would usually copy the eating habits of his parents. And a child with one obese parent has a 50% chance of being obese. And when both parents are obese, the rate goes beyond that, and the children will have an 80% chance of obesity. And I would not have to, I don't think I would just, I don't have to remind anyone that obesity is one of the most harmful things or aspects we can have as humans. It's going to lead to a lot of different diseases, including a decline in immunity. We should always lead by example, and we should always help our kids follow along our own personal eating habits. That's why whenever I deal with families that have weight issues or have a sedentary lifestyle, it's always the parents at the beginning that do have the problem, and they bring it along to their children. So we should be leading by example. Eating a well-balanced diet is very essential for proper immunity. And I'm going to go above and beyond to explain what I mean by that. And I think we will agree that many of our eating habits is very much influenced by our culture. Okay, so I would highly recommend home-cooked meals as a start or as a beginning to any healthy eating habit you are trying to promote at home. I would highly recommend you begin with home cooked meals where every ingredient is known and where every possible food choice we make, we know exactly what we're adding to our meals. And this is very, very important for the children's overall well-being, for their taste buds, and for basically preserving for basically creating a healthy meal environment at home. A tip I would provide is to eat greens at every single meal. Okay, if you're doing home cooked meals, I would recommend either a side salad or actually using veggies at your meals. This is gonna be super, super, super good for your immunity, and this is gonna be like a start for inducing more healthful items at every meal. Now we're going to be talking about some superfoods for immunity. So I'm going to start off with some items that we will find at our kitchen. Okay, first off, it's going to be onions. Okay, onions is super for immunity. It has a lot of good antioxidant properties as well as garlic. They usually go very well together. So I would highly recommend we add onions and garlics in our meals. We Arabs and Lebanese basically are known for it. We add a lot of onions and garlic, but if you do not, I would highly recommend that you add onions and garlic to your meals, as it's a very good way to add more nutrition and better antioxidants into our foods. I would recommend foods that are high in vitamin C. Just to name a few, it's going to be strawberries, it's going to be oranges, it's going to be lemons, it's going to be an apple, and it's going to be peppers in all of its colors. Peppers usually have, what I mean by pepper is a bell pepper. Bell peppers usually have 3 times the vitamin C in an orange. So I would highly recommend that into your meals and salads. I would also go for ginger. It has very high antioxidant properties. I would highly recommend you add it to your meals or in hot drinks or with tea, etc. I would also recommend vitamin D as an addition. We will be finding good sources of vitamin D in fortified milk, in eggs, and in fish, fatty fish. For example, you will find vitamin D in sardines. And lastly, I would recommend a superfood, and I will tell you later on how you can add it into your diet, which is we call in Arabic curcum. It has a very potent antioxidant called curcumin. It's very, very good. It's very good. We will find it in a lot of dishes, especially in the Indian cuisine. However, in the Arabic cuisine, it's also present as well. We usually would add it to spoof. However, I would recommend you find ways to add it into your meals other than just desserts, and we will talk about it later. I would also here give a recommendation to choose the fats we eat wisely. Fats are very, very good for health. They're very, very good for immunity. However, there are some types of fat which is going to be better than others. First off, I'm going to start with olive oil. Olive oil is best known. It's the most studied of all of the oils available in the market. It's best known for its antioxidant properties. It's loaded with vitamin E, and it's going to be tremendously effective for good health and immunity. Also peanuts or tree nuts. I would highly also recommend the chia seeds, and I'll give you a recipe right now with chia seeds. I would recommend almonds as a very good source of vitamin E, as well as avocados and pecans or walnuts also. Nuts in general are a very good source of fat, so I would highly recommend that we add it into our meal, maybe in the form of snacks. It's going to be, it would have a large profile of nutritious substance and antibiotics and antioxidants, So it's going to be very, very good for health. The best seeds for health also, we're going to talk about 3 sesame seeds, which is usually used in za'atar. And I would comment here that most of the health benefits of za'atar actually comes from sesame seeds, not the za'atar itself. It has a lot of antioxidants, it's high in vitamin E, and it's very, very good for health. Linseed as well. And chia seeds are also very good for immunity because they have a wide range of nutritious profile, especially vitamin E, which is super good for immunity. I'm going to give you now a recipe which you can make over the holidays. It's very easy. It's very nutritious. It's low in sugar, and I think the kids will like it very much, which is chocolate chia pudding. Okay, which is very, very basic. It's not going to take you more than a few minutes to prepare, and you'll be putting it in the fridge, and that's it. Just you will have it you will have the recipe for you to make at another time. However, it's very simple. Half a cup of chia seeds, 2 cups of skimmed milk, 2 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder, 1 tablespoon honey or maple syrup, a pinch of cinnamon, and you just mix everything together and leave it in the fridge overnight. And the next day you will have a beautiful, very tasty, very delicious chocolate chia pudding recipe for the holiday. Now we're going to talk about vitamin D. Vitamin D is also very crucial and essential for proper immunity. And you would see that a lot of people with vitamin D deficiency would actually be more prone to diseases. This is why ensuring that we do have proper vitamin D in our bloodstreams is very important. You will find it again in egg yolks, in mushrooms, in sardines, and salmon, which is basically you will be finding it in fatty fish, and fortified milk, and tuna. It's super important, I would say, as a general tip, to incorporate fatty fish a few times per week in a meal. The recommendations is around 2 to 3 times per week, and I would recommend that to ensure proper intake of vitamin D and omega-3 because they are both super for immunity. Here's a quick and easy meal idea you can try whenever the parents don't feel like cooking. We can actually make a very lovely tuna salad using very simple ingredients. You can actually use the ingredients you have at home, any veggies you have, and just incorporate it with some tuna. And I would recommend, as a substitute for the regular mayonnaise, is to include a yogurt or a Greek yogurt based sauce with a little bit of mustard and maybe just a little bit of olive oil as a very healthy and nutritious substitute for a mayonnaise. Iron. Okay, iron is also one of the best and super components for immunity. Iron would be found in, usually it's going to be highly absorbed and would be found abundantly in fish, meat, or chicken. However, we will find it also in eggs and fortified milk and some legumes. If you're planning or if you would like to better have the iron in legumes be absorbed, I would highly recommend you add a vitamin C to it, which is basically the easiest thing is just to add a squeeze of lemon juice. If you're eating fool or if you're eating hummus, etc., just add a little bit of lemon juice to it, and the iron by that would be much better absorbed. Vitamin A, you will find vitamin A basically in orange colored fruits and vegetables, okay, sweet potatoes, mangoes, carrots, anything with the yellow or orange profile would be an excellent source of vitamin A. Zinc. Zinc is also very super and very crucial for immunity, and you would find these days that a lot of people are going through zinc or are taking or consuming zinc supplements as a means to help their immunity, especially during these COVID times. So I would highly recommend them also, zinc and selenium, and you will find them basically in nuts and seeds and dried fruits, basically like apricots, and anything that you have dried in hands like raisins and apricots would be a very good source of zinc and selenium. Antioxidant-rich foods, I would highly recommend you include more antioxidant-rich foods in your diet, such as green tea, pomegranates, and dark chocolate. And I would recommend, if you do love chocolate and are looking for better health benefits, to use the 70% the chocolate containing 70% cocoa or more, because it's going to have a higher antioxidant profile. By that, it's going to be more beneficial, so it's going to be tasty and beneficial, which is a very good thing. And I would recommend for having fruits that have like bright colors, such as the pomegranate. It's going to have like a higher antioxidant profile than other fruits. turmeric. We said we're gonna be mentioning it later. It's a superfood, and as I mentioned, I don't want you just guys to add it to desserts. I want you to add it to your foods, maybe with rice, and maybe like a turmeric latte with a bit of milk. By that, you'll be having like vitamin D and vitamin D from the milk and a larger antioxidant profile from the turmeric. It has powerful antioxidant compound, which is called curcumin, which has a high anti-inflammatory properties, and which is going to give it its bright color. So as a rule of thumb, guys, I want you guys to remember that anything with bright colors, it's going to have a better antioxidant profile. Portion your plate well. Okay, if I'm going to give you like a very general tip, if you are trying to maintain or lose weight, is to always portion your plate as such. Half of your plate of fruits and veggies, a quarter of your plate of carbs, and preferably from good sources of carbs such as potatoes or brown rice or quinoa, etc., and the other quarter of your plate in protein. Okay, this is going to help you feel a lot more satiated. Okay, it's going to help you be full for longer, and it's going to be better controlling your blood sugar. So by that, you're not going to be hungry as often, which is perfect. And by that, you're not going to be snacking on a lot of different stuff, okay, in the afternoon, let's say. So if you portion your plate like this, for you and your families, you're going to find yourself at a much better you're going to find yourself that the general you will feel that your general digestion is better, which is going to be very, very good. You know, we're not going to be prone to snacking here and there. I would also recommend to mix superfoods together, tomatoes, avocados, onions, make a salsa. It's going to be fun, easy, nutritious for the kids, and to choose products with as little additives as possible. Okay, the more ingredients on the list, it means the product would probably have a lot of preservatives, a lot of different ingredients which might not be favored. So I would recommend whenever you are choosing products in the supermarket that the list be concise, as little as possible, and very clear. And as a rule of thumb, we should be able to pronounce the ingredients. Also, make your own desserts at home and go low in sugar. Okay, so I would recommend is to cut the sugar in half in most of the home baked goodies or recipes that we usually make. And I would recommend that you add more natural sweeteners such as like an apple compote or dates. Or honey or maple syrup. They're going to be a much more nutritional. They're going to be a much more nutritious additive to your baked goods. And even better is to replace sweets with fruits. Okay, at any chance, I would highly recommend that we replace sweets with fruits, as fruits would have a better nutrition profile, and it's going to be better for our general well-being. Meal prep. Okay, especially during the holidays, if you're planning a staycation or if you're planning like a road trip, I would say meal prep in advance and plan meals ahead. Okay, this is very important because when we meal prep and when we plan meals ahead, we're gonna less likely to stop at a fast food chain and order fries and Coke, etc. And by that, the children would have much better options to eat if we meal prep in advance and plan the meals ahead. Choose healthy snacks your kids enjoy. Okay, we have a lot of healthy options we can choose for the kids, such as baked tortilla with hummus. It's going to be high in protein. It's going to be a good source of grains. Okay, so it's going to be just like a healthy snack idea for the kids over the holidays instead of them grasping just anything around. Swap and go healthy. We're just going to be talking here about a few tips you can apply with your children. Like instead of chips, we can offer popcorn. Okay, it's going to be less in calories, it's going to have less fat, and it's going to be much more nutritious because popcorn is a whole grain. So I would recommend that. swap and go healthy, instead of giving the children something fattening for breakfast, okay, I would highly recommend that you give them whole grains, that you give them good sources of lean protein such as white cheese with some veggies. It's going to make them feel much more satiated, and by that you will be offering them foods with better nutritional profile. Again, watch for added sugars and swap and go healthy. Instead of giving the children like sugary cereals, I would highly recommend just to give them plain cereals. Okay, and I would recommend a better option is to give them Cheerios or oatmeal, because they're both made from whole grains. It's going to be a much better option for them at breakfast. And good hydration, it's also very, very recommended for immunity to just drink plain water. Okay, guys, juice has a lot of downsides, because juice is not the whole fruit. Okay, it's the juice form of the fruit losing a lot of fiber. So I would recommend that water be your first choice of hydration at all times. If you don't like the taste of water, I would highly recommend you try infused water, okay, which is basically water infused with some fruits. You can add lemon or orange or some pomegranates or strawberries and or blueberries or any fruit you have around that mixes well with water. I would highly urge you and recommend that you start making healthy choices as of now. Okay, it could be very simple choices. It could be very simple swaps we can make. Okay, just to go for more whole grains, just to choose water over any soda, and just to choose less sweetened, less products with artificial substance as much as we can, and work out. I know it's Corona and I know that the weather does not permit. However, we can work out at home. It's very highly recommended that we work out 30 minutes, 5 times a week for optimal health. It could be something fun. We can do it with the kids. It doesn't have to be boring. We could just like mix and match with the exercise. There are plenty of YouTube videos we can find out there. So I would highly recommend that all of us, for our mental health as well as our like overall health profile, is to work out. I would recommend that we work out 30 minutes 5 times a week. And I wish you all a very happy holidays, and I wish you all a safe and healthy winter break. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Zeinab, for this very important presentation. And we have no questions from parents so far, so that's good news. And we would like to let the parents know that Ms. Zeinab is available at school at any time. If you ever have questions, you can always reach out to her at Universal Learning Academy. And with that, is there anything else you'd like to add, Ms. Zeinab?
I just would like to add that nutrition, we shouldn't just take it. We shouldn't complicate it. It's very easy. It's very convenient. If most of us follow the Mediterranean diet, it's going to be naturally healthy just to follow a healthy lifestyle. So we just have to go back to our roots, include more grains, more vegetables in our diet, and by that we're going to be on the right track.
Great. Thank you very much. And with a final message of this year, 2020, we hope that you will have great holidays, and we'll see you back in January.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.